They say Hawaii is paradise, but deep in the forests, beneath the lava and far below the waves, something ancient is still moving. People vanish, voices echo where no one stands, and the land remembers things we were never meant to hear. These are real places, real events, and the silence here has never been empty. Put on your headphones, lock your doors, and pull the blanket up tight, because after this video, you'll never see Hawaii the same way again. The night marchers, they're still walking. Some legends die with time, others keep walking. Across the Hawaiian Islands, when the night is still and the moon is full, some people hear drums. Far away at first, then closer, then right behind them. It's not music, it's not tourists, and it's not thunder, it's them. They call them the night marchers, Wakahi Po in the native language, and they don't haunt. They patrol, long lines of ancient warriors, fully armed and silent, moving in perfect formation across land no one else dares walk. Locals don't speak their name lightly, because these aren't ghosts, they're guardians, and if you see them, you're not supposed to. The stories go back centuries. Warriors who died protecting sacred chiefs, men whose job in life, and after, was to clear the path of all threats, physical or spiritual, and they still walk, through valleys, across lava fields, along beaches with no footprints in the sand. They march where they marched in life, always at night, always on sacred paths, always when the air goes still and the lights don't work the way they should. In 1983, a US Navy sailor stationed at Barber's Point heard drums outside his tent during a late training op. He thought it was a prank, until the drumming got louder, until the dogs started howling, until everything went quiet all at once. He stepped outside and saw a line of men, half-glowing, weapons drawn, marching through the brush with eyes fixed straight ahead. He dropped his flashlight, ran, reported it to command. They told him to never repeat what he saw. He transferred out 2 months later. In 2002, a young couple hiking near Waipio Valley got lost at dusk. They camped overnight. Around midnight, they heard chanting, soft at first, then sharper, like a war song with no rhythm. The man stood to look. The woman pulled him down. A local guide had warned them, if you ever hear drums or chanting in the jungle, lie flat. Face down, don't look up. So they didn't, but they felt the footsteps, heavy, slow, perfectly timed, passing inches from their heads, shaking the dirt, moving in a line that never broke. The next morning, their camp was untouched, except for 2 straight lines of footprints on either side of their tent. Nothing else. Locals say the night marchers don't care about tourists. They care about respect, and they march in protection of the sacred, paths, temples, chiefs' burial grounds. You can't block them, you can't stop them, and you cannot see them. If you do, the old stories say there are only 2 ways to survive. 1, lie face down and stay absolutely still. 2, have an ancestor among them who recognizes you, and if you don't, you vanish. Or worse, you wake up changed, sick, disoriented, disconnected from yourself, because sometimes they don't take your body, they take your spirit. Hawaiian elders say this: they don't march for the living, they march for those who forgot what sacred means. Some say it's just legend, a story to keep kids off cliffs and sacred trails. But ask a park ranger, ask a night hiker, ask the security guards at remote observatories. They'll all say the same thing. If you hear drums in the forest, don't follow, don't film, don't even breathe too loud. Because if you see the marchers, they've already seen you. Some spirits pass by in silence, others to pull you off the trail and don't let go. And deep in the forests of Kauai, there are paths that twist behind you and never let you come back the same. The Disappearances of Koki State Park. Kauai, Hawaii. Some forests grow thick with life. Others thicken with silence. Koki State Park is breathtaking. Jagged cliffs, high ridgelines, trails that wind through clouds and disappear into green. But over the years, hikers haven't just gotten lost there. They've vanished. No blood, no gear, no signs of struggle. Just one trail too far pass, and they're gone. In 2015, a teenager named Dalen Mokpua went for a solo hike near Koki, hoping to reach the forbidden stairway to heaven. He texted his grandmother a photo of the landscape. That was the last anyone heard from him. The search lasted days. Helicopters, dogs, hundreds of volunteers, nothing, no tracks, no scent, no final location, just that one image, and a question no one could answer. Where do you go when there's nowhere left to fall? Daylen's case wasn't the first or the last. Other hikers, locals and tourists, have disappeared within the park boundaries under strange conditions. Some left clear signs they were returning, even texting friends that they were almost back. Others were seen by other hikers and then never again. A few were found days later in areas that had already been searched multiple times. One woman, found alive after 3 days missing, told rangers, "I kept following the sound. I thought it was someone playing music, but it was inside the trees." She couldn't explain how she ended up miles off trail. Her compass, and still on her wrist Wyatt, was spinning. Koki isn't just forest, it's fog, it's echo, it's cliffs that appear and vanish between breaths. There are parts of the park where even GPS loses signal, where your phone shows you're somewhere you're not. One trail guide reported hearing his own voice echo from behind before he'd spoken. Others described the feeling of being followed by something that moves when you stop, a stillness that watches, a sound that shouldn't carry through trees, but does. Some locals say it's the Nawao, a race of ancient forest spirits that protect the inner lands. Others speak of temporal slips, energy left behind from ancient conflicts, or natural forces that loop time itself. But there's no theory that explains what's written in dozens of search and rescue reports. Area previously cleared. Missing person found within cleared zone. No footprints, no sign of entry. One rescue worker summed it up like this: "It's like the trail eats them, and sometimes it spits them back out. Not injured, not conscious, just confused. Like they were somewhere else. Someplace deeper than the forest and quieter than the wind." Koki is still open, still legal to hike, still listed on tourism sites as a peaceful escape. But for those who've spent too much time in the trees, peace isn't the word. They say the forest doesn't want to hurt you. It wants to keep you. Some trails pull you in, but others call you from below. And off the coast of Kaena Point, something deep under the waves is still ringing, and no one knows why. The underwater bell of Kaena Point, sound that doesn't travel right. Oahu, Hawaii. Some sounds echo, others don't come back at all. Off the northwest tip of Oahu lies Kaena Point, a rugged, rocky stretch where the land thins into ocean. It's beautiful, remote, almost holy. But under the waves, something strange happens. People hear a bell, low, heavy, metallic, ringing deep, as if from a cathedral buried in the ocean floor. Fishermen were the first to report it. They'd be anchored near the reef drop-off. No ships around, no wind, no fog. And then, clang. Muffled, slow, like it was rising through miles of water. They thought it was in their heads, until their boat hulls vibrated in sync. Divers call it the Kaena pulse. Some say it happens at dusk, others during a full moon. No one's recorded it properly, because every attempt fails. Waterproof recorders catch only silence, or worse, an audio file full of distortion, like the mic short-circuited before anything happened. In 2013, a diver named Travis G made it his mission to find the source. He logged 17 dives in the same area. All clean. On the 18th, he heard it. He described it like this: "It wasn't a bell. It was something trying to sound like a bell, like an imitation. The tone was wrong, too perfect, like a machine learning what fear feels like." He surfaced in a panic, said he'd felt the sound in his bones. He never dove again. Military personnel have dismissed it as seismic activity, but Kaena sits far from major quake zones. No tremors recorded, no volcanic vents mapped in that region. And the strangest part? The sound doesn't travel. People on the beach don't hear it. Boats 100 meters away hear nothing. Only those directly above the reef shelf or underwater report it. Some feel pressure behind their eyes. Some say their breathing shifts. Others emerge feeling like they've left something behind. One diver fainted during ascent. No malfunction, no panic. His words later, "It felt like something was pulling me back. Not my body, just something inside me." There are whispers among locals that the reef hides a structure, an old underwater altar, or the sealed entrance to a cave from before the islands had names. Some think it's just resonance, sound bouncing in weird ways, But one theory from an old Hawaiian kahuna sticks out. That's not a bell. That's a warning. Something's being held down there. And it's trying to remind you it's still alive. Today, Kaena Point is protected. No boats allowed close to the shelf. Diving is discouraged. No scientific research is published on the sound. But the sea still rings. Not every day. Not for everyone. But when it does, won't you feel it? And once you've heard it, even once, and the silence that follows feels wrong, like the water's still vibrating, like the ocean is waiting. Some things are buried beneath the waves. Others are hidden in the jungle where the trees grow around stone and the wind forgets how to move. The Lost Temple of Wineha, the place that grows around you. Kauai, Hawaii. Some ruins crumble. This one resists. Hidden deep in the green heart of Kauai's north shore, where the jungle climbs the mountains sideways, there's a clearing no one talks about. Not marked, not mapped, not meant to be found. But hikers still stumble on it. And when they do, they all say the same thing. It felt like the air was waiting. The locals know it as the stone circle above Wineha. It's not on any trail. To reach it, you have to follow a dry stream bed that turns to mud, push through hau trees thick as walls, and listen for the one sound that doesn't belong. Dripping from leaves that aren't wet. When you get there, if you do, you'll see it. Black volcanic stone, laid in a pattern too perfect to be accidental. A ring cracked by roots but untouched by time. In the center, a raised altar, fused from stone, and something else. Something darker. Some say it was a heiau, a temple used for offering and sacrifice before Western contact. Others say it predates even that it was already there when the first voyagers arrived. What's known is this: people feel wrong when they step into the ring. Compasses don't spin, they slow. Audio recorders pick up clicks and rhythmic taps, like someone walking on wet stone. One hiker swears he saw his own shadow split in two for a second, and then reconnect. And then there's the fog, fast, low, moving against the wind, sliding along the ground like breath across a drum. In 2009, a group of trail photographers found the site by accident. They filmed for 10 minutes, but when they got home, all footage after minute 6 was corrupted. Just white static, except for one frame, a blur that looked like a person standing behind the altar. They swear no one was with them, and no one else appears in the video. Some believe the altar is cursed. Others say it's still active. One elder was quoted in a local paper: "That place doesn't remember you. It remembers the ones before you, and it doesn't like to be interrupted." There are stories of people feeling followed for days after visiting. Not by footsteps, not by dreams, but by a sense that something remembered them. As if the land, the vines, the moss, the stone took one look and never looked away again. Today, no official tour leads there. No park signs point to it. And most who've gone don't talk much about what they saw. Just that the jungle, which swallows everything else, never really swallowed that place. It grew around it. And maybe that's worse. Some places stay quiet. Others scream. And when the fog falls over Volcano Village, you'll hear the sound of a woman in pain. Only it's not a woman. And it's not pain. The howling woman of Volcano Village, the sound that doesn't end right. Big Island, Hawaii. Some places whisper. This one howls. High in the rain-heavy forests of Big Island, just outside the boundary of Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, sits a quiet little town wrapped in ferns and silence, Volcano Village. Tourists pass through on the way to the lava fields. Locals keep their heads down, and at night, the screaming starts. It's not every night, only when the fog rolls low and the wind stops. Then from somewhere just beyond the trees comes the sound. A woman crying, begging, screaming so hard it breaks into choking gasps. Only it never ends the way it should, because right when the voice hits its peak, it doesn't crack. It shifts from a scream to a growl, dry deep, like something trying to hold the shape of a woman's voice, and failing. Locals say they've heard it since the 1960s, first reported by park rangers stationed near Mauna Loa trailheads, then by residents along the old Volcano Highway. People tried to find her. Some thought it was a woman lost in the jungle. Others thought it was an injured animal, but no one ever found a body. No blood, no clothes, just the scream, always starting at midnight, always ending with a sound that doesn't fit inside a human throat. In 1994, a volcanologist staying near the village set up a parabolic mic to capture natural tremors overnight. Instead, he caught 9 minutes of clean audio, mostly wind, trees, distant animal calls. At 4:12 a.m., a scream cuts through. Clear, panicked, real. He isolates it, runs it through a spectrogram, and finds something that chills him. The waveform doesn't spike, it flattens, like the frequency was being held back or forced into place. Not natural, not digital error, just wrong. The file vanished from his external hard drive 3 weeks later. He never shared it again. Residents started calling her the woman in the fog, but some say she's not a ghost. They say she's a mask, something wearing a voice, something that uses sound to pull you off the trail. Make you move, make you listen, because once you listen, you remember it. You hear it again in dreams, in empty rooms, in the space between phone rings, and always the same pattern: crying, screaming, choking, and then that low animal growl. Like the voice ran out, and something else picked it up. People have gone missing near Volcano Village. Small cases, no headlines, but hikers leave their cabins and never come back. Search teams report hearing laughter from the fog. Others say they heard a voice mount too familiar, calling their name. One local, a teacher, wrote this on a now-deleted blog in 2006. The scream sounds like pain, but the growl sounds like a smile. No one's sure what it is. Some say it's Pele herself, angry, warning those who disrespected the land. Others think it's something older, something that never had a name, something that found a voice and liked the way it felt. Today, Volcano Village remains quiet, peaceful, beautiful, until the fog comes. And if you hear her scream, don't run, because it's not the scream that finds you. It's what comes after. Some voices scream to be heard, but others whisper from inside the stone, and deep beneath Hilo, in the tunnels of hardened lava, a cave listens, even when no one speaks. The Kana Cave Whisper, the echo that isn't yours. Hilo, Hawaii. Some caves echo. This one answers. Just outside Hilo, on the rainy side of Big Island, there's a hole in the earth where the lava once flowed. Kana Cave, a massive lava tube carved in 1881, stretching deep beneath the jungle. You can walk in, you can climb down, but after a certain point, you stop hearing yourself. Visitors call it the quietest place in Hawaii. No birds, no wind, no light, and if you go deep enough, you won't even hear your own footsteps, but you might hear something else. People say it starts as a click, like stone shifting behind you. Then comes the whisper. Not words, not language, just sound, moving like breath across your ear. One hiker described it like this: "It wasn't in the cave, it was in my head, but not my thought." The tunnel splits, then splits again. Some routes go hundreds of feet into solid rock. Others dead end suddenly, but with footprints already there. And some parts feel wrong. Flashlights dim, audio recorders hiss, batteries die in full charge. Some visitors claim the rock feels warm. Others say it pulses, and then there's the voice. Several explorers have described hearing someone whisper their name, sometimes in their native tongue, sometimes from behind a wall, always alone, always just once, always just loud enough. In 2010, a geology student set up an audio trap in one of the deeper tubes. No movement, no wildlife, but the recorder captured 42 seconds of irregular clicks, followed by a deep inhale. Human, too close to the mic. She had been alone. She left Hawaii 3 days later. The cave is open to the public, but rangers quietly warn against going too deep. They say it's not dangerous, just confusing. But locals say something else. They say the cave is alive, or worse, that it records you, that once you enter, part of you stays behind. The sound of your breath, your name, your memory, and that's what you hear, your own echo. Learning how to answer back. One man who explored the far western arm came out pale and silent. When asked what happened, he just said, "It's not a cave, it's a mouth, and it doesn't close. So go ahead, climb down, take a flashlight, record your voice. Just know that whatever hears you might keep listening, even after you're gone. Some mysteries march through the jungle, some scream through the fog, some ring through the ocean, but the ones that stay with you whisper, and they don't whisper to be heard. They whisper because they know you're listening. Tell me in the comments which mystery hit you the hardest and which state should we explore next, because the next island might already be whispering.